Yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know the vibes. This is your boy, Honcho J23. You are now tuned in to the latest, hottest, most episodic show on all social media platforms. That is Independent Scene, the podcast. I want to take this opportunity right now to thank you guys for joining me on this afternoon. I gladly appreciate it. It is always so dope and super love coming from y'all whenever y'all come through and support me and show love and, you know what I'm saying, spam the comments, the whole 9 yards. But like I said, this is Independent Scene Podcast. I am your host, Honcho J. This is episode 185. I cannot wait to embark on this next journey that we got going on. We are talking with a really dope artist. He goes by the name of Vinnie Dangerous. A really dope artist out here in the Carolinas doing this thing. He's been putting on for the city. And like I said, I definitely can't wait to chop it up with him. But with that being said, my mans is already in the building. So ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my guy, my homie, the bro, Vinnie Dangerous. Let's get it. Yo, Vin, got it.
Hey, what's
There
up?
we, there we. What's good, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm coolin', man. How you?
I'm chilling, man. Just working. Just been pushing this album everywhere. Like I've been loving the response so far.
Most definitely. You already know we definitely gonna jump into it, man. So real quick, I made you introduce yourself to the people, let the people know who you are, all that good shit, and then we're gonna jump right into it.
Okay, bet. Yo, this is Vinnie Dangerous. Born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Follow me on all my socials at Vinnie Dangerous. That's Vinnie with an IE, not a Y, all one word. You find me everywhere.
Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate giving us that intro, man. So real quick, we just gonna jump right into it, man. So I gotta ask the obvious question, man. Vinnie Dangerous. Where did the name Vinnie Dangerous come from?
Oh man. It's funny. It goes all the way back to the ninth grade.
Okay.
Um, I did a talent show, and I used to go by like Young D because that was like just something I came up with like on the spot.
Okay.
And I did this song, and the host was like, "Man, that song was really dope. He was rocking, but yo, he sounds so angry. He sounds so dangerous."
Okay.
And then I don't know, it just kind of clicked. I was like, "Yo, I like that. That actually fit. It
Okay.
fit." So I ended up doing that, and then the Vinny part came in because that was my grandfather's name when he was in New York.
Okay.
He used to go by Vinny. I'm named after him and my dad. I'm the third.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I could just do that. It's kind of like a legacy thing, like in tribute to him.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But like I said, man, you know what I'm saying. It's definitely always unique when you come across a name that you don't really hear like that. So definitely,
Oh yeah.
I definitely give you props, man, on the name, man. I definitely fuck with it. All right, so my next thing I gotta ask, man, being out here in this industry, man, doing everything that you're doing musically, man, what has been the most rewarding part of just doing what you do best?
Ah man, it's kind of a tie between like just when you're in a creative space and you're coming up with a good idea, like you like seeing it through and it's coming together exactly how you want it, like that like when you get to the end of that satisfaction you feel at the end. Like once you like finally put it in the speakers and listen to it and it's perfect, like that's always a wonderful feeling. But just mainly like people coming up to me and telling me how much the music means to them. Like I always try to tell my story just as unfiltered and just as just raw as as it could be. And I feel like a lot of people connect to that. A lot of people told me that they really helped them through dark periods, even when I was first getting started. So that's always a blessing to hear that I help people.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you spoke on just a minute ago. So with all the music that you put out, do you even find yourself listening to your own music and critiquing yourself on your music?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to my stuff all the time. Because one of the things is that like I feel like you have to make music that you want to listen to,
Right.
and and I'm always my biggest critic. Like I feel like even with this latest one, like I love it to death, but there's still parts of it where I pick it apart And it's just a learning lesson. Like, you know, I could just take it into the next project and see what we could do and make it better. Cause I'm always trying to outdo myself.
Most definitely, most definitely. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. So now let me ask you this. So when it comes to influences in the game, and we have, because we have so many, iconic, legendary superstars and entertainers out here, man, that have truly paved the way and have trailblazed the way. But I gotta ask, man, who have been some of your influences out here in this industry?
Oh man. I first started rapping listening to Pac. My first time like I really falling in love with hip hop was when I listened to his Me Against the World album. Like my mom had like the big CD tower at the crib, and like I would just take CDs. I was looking for something to do, listen, some music to listen to, and that I listened to that, and it just inspired me.
Okay.
Uh, After that, like Outkast is a big influence of mine. J. Cole, obviously, being from Fayetteville and kind of seeing him do his thing. Um, like that's always inspiring to see somebody coming from, where you from
Okay.
and taking it as far as he has. So, those are like, and then like my pops is a rapper too.
Okay.
Like, he was one of my biggest support. He's always been one of my biggest supporters and one of my biggest influences. So it's somebody that I've always looked up to and was able to learn a lot from.
Okay, okay, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of be switching gears a little bit because I kind of want to now get into your growing up, man. Talk us a little bit about your growing up real quickly and what it was like growing up as a kid. Going through childhood and then coming into your own as a man and realizing what it was that you wanted to do in life.
Like growing up for us was hard. It was, I come from Fayetteville, and we moved around in Fayetteville, between Fayetteville and Longburg a lot, but it was always like through poverty. Like my mom is I mean, like I'm close with my dad, but my mom and my dad wasn't together, so she was a single parent for majority of my life, raising 5, 6 kids at one time by herself.
Okay.
So it's the real, tough times, growing up and like, getting into fights and stuff like that. It's really like music kind of helped me kind of, help me escape my reality
Right.
a lot of the time. Like I was able to like express myself through music that I wasn't able to express myself, to kind of like make sense of my surroundings.
Okay.
And, so growing up, that played a big part in, where I'm at right now.
Okay, okay. Now let me ask you this. So when it comes to your music again, what when you put out these songs and you put out these albums and EPs and things of that nature, man, like what is the message behind the music that you want the people to grasp from it and gain from it and be able to apply to them?
Um, Really, it just depends on the project. Like I like to be conceptual with a lot of my stuff. So, like album in 2016, it was called "Yes, I Am a Dreamer." It's just about believing in yourself, like closing out the doubt. Just really riding high and like really taking that with you. Believing in yourself regardless of what else is going on. Dream to Escape Hell. I dropped that in 2018, and that was me dealing with a lot of depression. I lost my brother, got arrested for DWI. It was a lot of stuff that just kept, knocking me down. And it was just kind of my way of being able to process that. And like, I'm writing in a way that's like, yo, man, I've been through the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. You could get past it though. I was
Right.
able to get past alcoholism, depression, suicidal thoughts, like all of that stuff. I was able to, block that out and really turn it into something positive that people could really sink their teeth in. So it just depends on the project. Like I feel like those messages are just stuff that me going through stuff, thinking that I'm alone, writing about it, and putting it out to the world, and then people that feel like they're alone realize that they don't have to feel that way.
Okay, okay. Now talk to us about the response, man, because I know the response, from the support from all the supporters and your family and your friends and things of that nature. What has that been like, just to hear and to see the outpouring of love and support coming your way?
Oh man, it's dope. I feel like I push the envelope sometimes. So like the response at first, sometimes it could be like surprise and like, wow, I can't believe you said this, you said that. Like I remember my homeboy hit me up and was like, yo, man, a lot of these joints would be perfect if you didn't say this, you say that. You can't put it on the radio. And I kind of want to get that response. Like I want to shock people into thinking. So it's like to get that first shock response, and then later people will listen to it a few more times, and it really like opens up their mind, or like really really puts things in perspective in a way that I feel like a lot of other artists don't, even when they are trying to push that message or push an agenda. I feel like a lot of people are safe. And I think a lot of people appreciate somebody that is willing to speak about it and not really worry about. They're not trying to be. It's not shock value, but it's also not like skating around the issue. I'm tackling it head on.
Okay. Okay. All right. So real quick, again, I'm switching gears for a second because now I want to kind of get into another subject, that a lot of people currently deal with today in America, man. That being mental health, man. You got, like you said, you have people that deal with, suicide, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, abandonment, father issues, mama and dad, mama issues, whatever the case may be. So I want you to talk directly to the people that are watching, that are tuned in, that are listening. I need you to give them some advice and give them some words of encouragement to keep them going, to keep them motivated, to keep them, going.
Oh, definitely. First thing I want to say is talk to somebody. Like whether it's a therapist, whether it's a counselor, whether it, just somebody that you look up to and you trust, and you feel like you could safely speak to them. Just speak to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself, because I feel like our minds play tricks on us, especially in the lower, well, like when we're in our lowest parts of our life, that you feel like nobody understands. You feel like you're all by yourself. But that's not true. There is somebody that's willing to listen, whether it's a professional, whether it's somebody close to you. There is somebody that's out there to listen. And then two, like again, just you're not alone. You're not alone. Like regardless of how bad it gets, no matter how fucked up you think it is up here, no matter if you think that you're gonna sound crazy if you speak this out loud, you don't sound crazy. Your feelings are valid, and that you're not by yourself in this. So now, don't ever feel like you are.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, so now let me ask you this, man. We've been having a lot of, versus battles, man. We've had some of the most iconic, legendary battles of our time. And
Yeah.
definitely big shouts out to Timbaland and Swiss Beats for, creating a platform for, all of these entertainers, man, to come under one roof. But I gotta ask, man, what's been one of your favorite battles, and who do you see next stepping into that ring, going pound for pound, one on one?
Oh man, it's so many. Like I feel like those. I've been a big fan of a lot of them. I would say my favorite had to be Snoop and DMX.
Snoop and DMX. Okay, okay.
I feel like that was the one that really, because I'm a big X fan.
Okay.
So his passing, really messed with me.
Okay.
And
I was gonna ask you about that too, but we'll get into that.
oh yeah, like his passing really affected me. I will, like I say that. But seeing him, up there with Snoop, and listening to those songs, like I hadn't really gone back to his catalog in a long time. So like listening to those songs again and remembering like the kind of like the influence it had on me growing up,
Mm-hmm.
man, that was dope. Like that was the first one where I felt like I was really reliving a period of time that I miss.
Okay, okay. So now speaking on X, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's we recently had the loss of, our kind of superstar DMX, man, who truly, man, was, like I said again, has been truly a trailblazer in this industry, man. He left a legacy behind, and he left so many great songs out here in the industry, man. But I gotta ask, man, where were you and what was going through your mind when you heard about the news about DMX?
Man, I remember because I had just got finished watching his Drink Champs, like maybe like a few days before.
Okay.
So I was just like, man, this is, like X is dope. Like I'm happy to see him, lively, and I can't wait to see what he do next.
Right.
So it felt like one of those, like if you would have asked me a couple years ago and X had passed, I would have been like, damn, it sucks, but I kind of saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, just because of the path he was on, and like the last time we seen him, he was in a bad way.
Right.
So to see him, alive and like really, he looked like he was good. So it just really shocked the hell out of me, like when he passed. But I don't know. I felt like a sense of peace, like when I really thought about it, and like, thinking about everything that he'd been through, listening to his music and stuff like that, and like just the pain that he's endured in his life. Like it was almost like, man, he's finally at peace. So it was sad at first, but then I was like, at least he's in a better spot. He's in a better place now. That was the first time where, when people say that, it don't feel genuine. It just feels like something people just say.
Right.
But that one has really felt like, he actually is at a better place. So that's where I was at.
Okay.
That's where I was with it.
So now, also,
And actually, like, maybe, because also my, like, his influence like ranges him, because after the versus battle, we actually did the album cover for my latest album, God Made a Monster, and
okay.
like in tribute to his album cover from Flesh is My Flesh, Blood is My Blood.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so that I thought, and then the album came out like maybe 2 weeks before he passed, so it was kind of eerie in a way, because
Okay.
I did that as like a tribute, and I was always thinking like, damn, man, it'd be dope, like if X could see this, or like,
Right.
I wanted to even think about, us doing this tribute for him, and then he just ends up passing away before I even got that chance. So it was just it was a crazy coincidence.
Okay. Okay. So yes. So speaking on this new album, God Made Me a Monster, man. Talk to us a little bit about that. And what was the message and the motto going behind the album God Made Me a Monster? What was the whole process throughout that?
Um, well, yeah, like, so I say like most of my music is me just trying to make sense of the world for whatever perspective I'm taking it, and it was just me trying to make sense of 2020 and just watching, like, with the pandemic and the protests and just all this other stuff. Like watching as the world was changing, watching how people's true colors was coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and just watching like different people that I looked up to, and maybe people that we look to for advice and like voices of reason, and how they turned out to be completely different. And watching people's reaction to certain things and realizing that, dang, that was not what I was expecting. And like the title God Made a Monster kind of came to me because it kind of felt like, sometimes you wonder why certain things happen to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you try to make sense of it. And I was like, maybe, because I'm coming that I have like, I absorbed everything that happened in 2020, and I felt like I came out like angry and just ready to just slaughter everything,
Right.
like the music. And I was like, well, maybe God put me in this position because he wanted me to be that way. Maybe he wanted me to be either the villain or the anti-hero. Kind of like he wanted me to be the person that just destroys everything and slaughters, or he wants me to be, I'll, be the one to tear down certain things and kind of like have people see differently. That's just kind of where it kind of came from. It's like God put me in this position. He made me the monster that I feel like right now.
Okay. Okay. So now, real quick, I kind of want to touch on something that a lot of people, in this industry, man, don't really touch on. And, of course, it's around us on a daily basis, but that being, the LGBT community, we got so many artists out here who live these these alternative lifestyles, who are, shunned away and, thrown away and said that, they're not going to make it and things of that nature. But I got to get your thoughts and your feedback on what you think about these other artists out here that do live those lifestyles, that are putting out music, that are putting out great music at that, and being able to still, make the money aside from all the hate and negativity and drama that comes with it.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I love, more than anything, like I love when people live their truth. So whatever your music is about, whatever your lifestyle is, or whatever your, how you choose to identify with yourself, like whenever you put out the music and that's you, like that's real, that's dope. Like no matter, what it is, you're just standing on who you are. And I think it's dope now that we have like things are to where they're different to where they are now, where people of those different orientations and that identify as LGBTQ have the space to be able to, make the music and be successful without all the ridicule and the unnecessary BS and shit. Like hip hop is supposed to be inclusive anyway.
Right.
So that's what, that was the original thought when Cool Herc put it together. It's supposed to be for everybody to be able to come together and bring everybody together, whether it's for the party, whether it's to, get your message out, whatever, you choose, however you choose to express yourself. And I would be a hypocrite if I say I loved hip hop and I believe in what hip hop is, and I had a problem with somebody that just so happened to love the same sex or just happened to be transgender or
Right.
just so happened to be, just whatever label you want to put on it. And I didn't want them a part of it. I would be a hypocrite if I did that.
Right. So let me ask you this. So when you hear right. So let me ask you this: when it comes to goals and aspirations for 2021, man, what are some of your goals and aspirations for 2021?
I would say because right now we on track to get about like 10,000 streams on the album right now. I want to hit at least 50 by the end of the year. I want to put out a music video for at least 3 more songs. Like I got a music video for the intro.
Okay.
I want to put out at least one more music video. 3 more music videos before the end of the year. And honestly, I'm just ready to get back to normal and start doing shows again. That's a big part that I've been missing since this whole quarantine thing.
Okay.
So to get back and just start doing shows regularly like I was doing before lockdown, that's kind of like the biggest thing for me right now.
Okay. So speaking on the pandemic, speaking on the social injustice, speaking on police brutality, when you hear all these different stories and theories, man, we've lost so many of our black kings and queens, man, due to police brutality, man. But I gotta ask you, man, what are your thoughts on how this world has shifted in a way to where it's nothing but straight killing on the daily basis? How do you feel about that?
But honestly, it feels like it's always been that way. We just see it more regularly. I said the only difference between, I remember I said this before, like the only difference between George Floyd and a lot of other cases that happened, Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and other killings like that happened last year versus the ones before was the fact that like everybody was in the house and you really didn't have the option to get distracted from it.
Right.
Like just like those kill, like I feel like the numbers ain't really going down. It's just the fact that now we can see it because people are on hand with cameras and stuff.
Right.
But so it's so I feel like the only difference that I see is that I feel like a lot more people are aware because now they don't have the option to look away. And then also of all the cases, George Floyd's was the most blatant as far as this is the complete injustice. There's really no way to spin it and try to justify it.
Right.
That's the most blatant case of just somebody like basically a guy had a vendetta against a white cop had a vendetta against a black man,
Right.
and used his status as a police officer to take it out on him.
Right.
And that was the most that is really as cut and dry as that is. So
Right.
I feel like that's the only difference is that people are a lot more aware because now it's like you really can't excuse that, and if you can't excuse that one, then you start to re-examine all the other ones.
Okay. All right. I feel you on that. All right. So now let me ask you this: if you could put five artists, it could either be local or entertainment on Mount Rushmore. Who would those artists be?
Of like any genre or
It don't even, it could be any genre, any preference. You know what I'm saying?
oh man, I'm gonna just stick with hip hop because that's like my biggest.
Okay.
That's the one I know the most about. So I'd say
Okay.
Jay-Z, um, Rakim,
Okay.
um, Cool Herc.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say Pac, and then I'm gonna say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, okay. I feel you. I feel you. All great iconic stars to be exact. So definitely, I could definitely see something like that. All right, so now let me ask you this, man. And again, I'm switching gears. So when it comes to things that you do outside of music, meaning hobby wise, are there any hidden talents or skills or things that you do outside of music that that you do on a daily basis when you're not doing music?
Um, Outside of music, I mean, I deal with tech. So I'm certified technical support engineer.
Okay.
Uh, I deal with a lot of computers, softwares, and things like that. So I'm always fiddling around with stuff like that. Uh, I'm a big wrestling fan, so it's
Ooh,
so that's kind of like my other thing that I keep up with a lot. Like outside of music and stuff is like I'm always catching up on like the pay-per-views and things like that.
you just
I don't know. I just work out a lot.
okay. You just got me with that one. Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's like something that a lot of people don't know, but it's like, yeah, I'm a big wrestling nerd, yo.
Okay. So matter of fact, let's get into that then. So we recently just had WrestleMania Backlash, man. We had some really we had some really dope matches. We had the triple threat: Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. We had Bobby Lashley,
Mhm.
Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. And so I gotta ask, what was one of your favorite matches out of that entire pay per view that that you was really waiting to see?
The one I was waiting to see was Roman versus Cesaro.
Okay.
That was the one that just because I've been a big fan of Cesaro for a long time to still see him finally get a one-on-one title match
Okay.
on pay-per-view. So the triple threat match was way bigger. The triple threat men's match was way better than I thought it was going to be. Like MVP was definitely Braun Strowman
Okay.
because he did like a lot of crazy dives and like just the way he was throwing himself around, like
Right.
him being like 7'1"
Right.
and flying around like that was like crazy.
Right.
It was exciting to see. Honestly, it was a great show altogether. I just hated the zombie match with
Yeah,
Priest and Miz. That was terrible.
yeah, I saw that too, man. I'm thinking, wow, really zombies though? Like, I mean, who can
Yo, it's like no explanation. It's just zombies just popped up.
right,
Don't have nothing to do with neither one of them.
right, exactly. So let me ask you this, man, because in this wrestling world, man, you have the men's division, you have the women's division, man, and we recently just crowned two new SmackDown women's tag team champions, that being two of the greatest legends of all time, the man. Your thoughts to see them, finally capture gold from not from for defeating Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Again, two of the top icons out here in the business.
Yo, okay, so I've been a big fan of like what Tamina's been doing lately.
Okay.
Like I even like followed her on social media and like I was seeing like she was putting together like her own little vignette videos and stuff. It was real high quality stuff.
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, I didn't realize she was talented like that.
Right.
So to see her get her just due after she been there for 11 years and this is her first title, besides the 24/7 title, but they don't count. Um, to finally see her get her love and like Natalia's been like the MVP of the women's division to me
Right.
like for years. Like when they made the transition from just divas and
Right.
women just kind of being a sideshow to
Right.
now like these women are main eventing night pay-per-views and even WrestleMania.
Right.
Like Natalia's been like the one constant like the person during that whole transition. She was the one that kind of anchored that to me.
Right. Right.
So it's dope to see her get her love too.
Okay. And my last thing I want to ask you about that. So, we recently just, had WrestleMania. They allowed the fans back in the arena, man. The crowd was crazy. It was electric. It was, good. The fans was happy to be there. The superstars was happy for the fans to be there. So I gotta ask, man, being able to see that and see the fans back in the building and being able to have that reaction and the superstars be able to feel that intensity, man. What was that like for you to not only be a fan,
Um,
see something like that?
yeah, You know, we got used to not having fans, you know, the Thunderdome, and before that, the empty arena stuff. I couldn't watch it then. It was
Right.
just way too different.
Right.
Um, so you kind of get used to it after a while, but once the fans were back, like it's just that was exciting. Like it felt like WrestleMania. It felt like this was a big, you know, big event, like as it should
Right.
be in WrestleMania. Just having though, just I think it would have had like 25,000 people in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is pretty small for a Mania, but like we had no fans for so long, it felt like 100,000 people in there.
Right. Exactly. 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 Okay. Okay. All right. So now I'm kind of switching gears again. So now I want to speak on social media because social media has been a huge part for everybody all over the world, and social media has had its own way of, forming itself. But being an artist, being a part of social media, what has social media done for you, and how has social media helped you in any way?
Um, it definitely helped with getting the music out there, which I feel like that's the biggest thing about social media and the internet in general. It just gives you the opportunity to kind of be your own boss and do what you want to do. I don't have to wait to put out music, or like, you know, before the internet, I just had to burn or print CDs, and like hopefully I could get, you know, a few off in my city and try to make that happen, or I'm gonna have to travel from town to town, or like get on a plane or something like that if you're doing it independent. But I could just get on the internet and, like, you know, I pay for ads, or, you know, just putting it on social media with the right hashtags, and people, you know, reaching out to me from across the country and across the world, you know, like giving that opportunity. It's a difficult thing to navigate, but if once you figure it out, like it could definitely be helpful. Just being able to get your message out there a lot better without having to, you know, go through the old guard like labels and PR companies and things like that.
Okay, okay, I feel you on that. All right, so now again, switching gears, so when it comes to love and relationships, man, we have so many people out here that are, dating, that are married, that are, freshly, in love and things of that nature, man. So I got to get your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on love and relationships, and what is it that, as an artist, as for you, that you look for when it comes to, dating and things of that? What is it that you look for, when it comes to love and relationships?
Um, but like I'm with my girlfriend now, and like one of the big things is like when we got together was that, like, as an artist, like she understands where I'm coming from. She's also a dancer, a choreographer, things like that. So we're in the same type of world to a certain extent. Like, so we understand the grind that it takes. Um, you know, because I've dated women wasn't in the industry, wasn't really didn't, you know, just kind of like living the regular life while I was trying to do the music thing, and it could get, you know, there's a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of stuff that don't really translate well. She don't understand that I got to work all day, and then I got to turn around and go to this show, or I got to go to this, you know, mixer or something, like this meet and greet or whatever.
Right.
She don't understand that I'm gonna be gone till I've been gone since this morning, and I'm gonna be gone until like maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and that's just kind of part of the opportunity. You know, I told her beforehand, but it doesn't translate. So, like, being with somebody that understands, you know, where I'm coming from now, and being supportive, and, you know, us helping each other out and wherever we can, like, you know, that's dope. That's dope that we understand each other. So I feel like it's a big thing. You just need somebody to understand what it takes and kind of like support you through that.
Okay. Okay. So now let me ask you this. So when it comes to advice, and we have so many young up and coming, superstars that's rising through the ranks, coming up through the ranks, man. And I gotta ask, man, what advice do you have for all these young up and coming artists that's coming up and trying to grab that brass ring?
Um, my advice is, however you choose to do your music, however you choose to express yourself when it comes to this audience, like this comes to this industry and stuff. Like, you have an audience, you know, that out there, that's willing, that wants to listen to what you got and what you bring to the table, and don't listen to anybody that tells you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. You just got to figure out how to market it. You just got to figure out, who is this for? Who am I speaking to? And push it that way. But when people try to get in your ear and try to tell you that you need to sound like this person or you need to do this because this is the hot new sound right now, you don't have to listen to that because nobody's going to remember you for being the person that sounds like everybody else. They're going to remember you because you did your own thing and that you were unique and that you made a name for yourself being, expressing yourself the way you wanted to.
Right.
So that's my advice. I always tell people like, it's out there. So, because you really fall out of love with it when you're doing the music just to like fit in with everybody else. When you're not doing it the way you want to do it, you fall out of love with it real quick.
Right, right. Now let me ask you this, and this is going to be a two-part question.
Mhm.
So when it comes to, again, being an artist, have you ever caught writer's block for one, and what did you do to get out of that writer's block?
Um, yeah, I catch writer's block all the time. Um, like with this album I just did now, like I felt like that was the fastest I've ever written anything, just
Okay.
because it kind of came out. But there's been times where it can take months, even years, before I finish the track. Um, and I feel like you just got to put it down, and you got to come back to it when you feel inspired. Like if you got writer's block, that's to me that's just a sign that it's not time. That whatever song you're working on, it ain't for right now.
Okay.
You just put it down, work on something else, think about something else, do something else. Just put it down for right now because it's just not time. It'll happen. The song will come to you. The lyrics will come to you when it's meant to.
Okay. Okay. Now let me ask you this. So, when it comes to you as a whole, as a person, aside from the music, and it's all said and done, like what is it mainly about you specifically that you want people to always remember about you and be able to know about you?
Um, that I was always me.
Okay.
It was always me. There's a lot of phony, fraudulent personas and stuff that get put on because like I said before, like people are trying to do it. They're trying to fit a certain mold, or whether they're being told to do this or they think they have to be this way.
Right.
But like, I'm always give myself 100%, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, you just know that was me. That was me at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. So now I kind of want to. So now, okay, and I appreciate you for speaking on that, by the way. So now I kind of want to get some fun facts from you, man, because I know there's a lot of people out here that's probably wondering. So I got it. First fun fact I want to know is when it comes to movies and TV, man, give us your favorite movie and favorite show, favorite TV show.
Ah, man. Um, so my favorite movie of all time, like I don't know if a lot of people gonna know about this one. It's Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Okay. Okay.
It's like one of my favorite. Like horror is my favorite genre,
Okay.
and that's one of my favorite horror movies.
Okay.
Um, I mean that is my favorite horror movie.
Okay.
Uh, and dang, yo, my favorite all time TV show is called BoJack Horseman. It
Okay.
was on Netflix.
Okay.
It's funny. It's deep. Like it's a lot of thought, a lot of intricate storytelling going into that. And it's over now, but that's like even now I could go back and watch those episodes and catch something different.
Okay. Okay. So now another fun fact. So give us your favorite destination place and your favorite dream car.
Um, Lamborghini is my favorite.
Okay.
That's my dream car. That's the one I really want to get my hands on at some point. Uh, yeah, I've always wanted to go to South Africa.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's just beautiful out there. Just from the pictures and stuff that I've seen, like I've met people from there. Uh, and I've always wanted to go.
Okay. Okay. Give us your favorite male comedian and female comedian of all time.
Um, Favorite female comedian would have to be Monique.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Favorite male comedian, that one might be tough. Oh no, wait, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dave Chappelle.
All right. Give us your favorite food.
Yo, I eat everything chicken. Everything chicken is my favorite. Fried, barbecue, baked, just whatever.
Okay. Okay. Favorite color and what's your zodiac?
Uh, Favorite color is purple, and I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, okay. So let me ask you this. So speaking of zodiac signs for a second, real quickly, when you meet people that are different signs, man, are you guys able to get along pretty much everybody, or is it one of those things where you kind of gotta learn it first before y'all can get in tune.
Um, nah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not that big into astrology. Like I know a little bit,
Okay,
but for the most part, I don't even really be knowing people's birthdays. I don't even be knowing they zodiacs until after the fact.
okay, okay,
But usually, so I've already kind of established like whether we gonna get along or not. Usually, the zodiacs only really come into play when I'm dating or whatever.
okay, okay, okay. So let me ask you this. So now, if you could take any song from any genre, from any artist, and turn it into your own, what would that song be and why?
Uh, dang, that's interesting. It's a lot of songs I wish I would have did myself. Um, I'm gonna go Jay-Z song "Cry."
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
just think that's a dope concept. I wish I would have thought of that first.
okay, okay. All right. So when it comes to this year, man, because we're living in the 21st century, as they say, so much is going on all around the world. But what we want to know is what can we the fans and the supporters be expected from you next? Say in 2021.
Um, well, I dropped the album, so it's gonna be a lot of promotion for the album, new content, more music videos. Oh yeah, the Dangerous Minds podcast is supposed to be coming back sometime this summer.
Okay.
Uh, that'll definitely be something that people could look out for. Um, yeah, like a lot of visuals, a lot of just a lot of different stuff. Honestly, right now it's just kind of one of those things. Oh yeah, and then different shows. Like I'm definitely getting back to doing shows once everything is good.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this. So whenever you reach the level of success that you're gonna reach and that you're gonna accomplish, will you be one of those entertainers or people that that are friendly with the people, or are you more, are you, what's the word I'm looking for? Are you more introvert or extrovert?
Um, I'd say I'd be more introverted, but people that show love with the music and stuff, like I'm definitely gonna reach out. I'm definitely gonna want to show love.
Okay. Okay. And
They
last,
the reason if I get when I get there, they're gonna be the reason why I got there. So I'm gonna definitely gonna be willing to give back.
most definitely. Okay. And so lastly, what is your favorite sport?
I say basketball.
Okay. So
Basketball.
with that being basketball, who will be who you rocking with right now in basketball?
Uh, Yo, the Knicks look good right now.
Okay.
I want to see where they go.
Okay.
It just I'm always rooting for the underdog.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like, dang, the Knicks is in the playoffs. This is crazy. So I'm hoping they go far. I ain't been keeping up, so I've only like I just peeped that because just like with wrestling, like watching empty arena basketball is just weird to me.
Okay.
So I'll get back on it once everybody back in the building.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this. So in closing, will you be watching Monday Night Raw tonight?
Nah.
Okay.
Yo, it's been so bad. Like I ain't been making time to watch it. Like I watch SmackDown, I watch NXT,
Okay.
I watch the pay-per-views, but Raw's been so bad and it's 3 hours long. I'm like, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip on that one.
Right. The funny thing about it, man, is because a lot of people are saying that too. Like, they rather stick to SmackDown and NXT. You know what I'm saying? Because they have more better matches, more better superstars, a better roster. So I said I was gonna ask do you agree with that? That it's
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say the roster is better. Like they have the most talent, like talent wise. That's probably the best roster of people on all three brands that they've ever had in the history of the company.
okay.
But it's the fact that they just not writing the stories and they're not, booking them the right way. That's the only thing that's making it so bad. Especially with Raw, it's really bad in Raw.
Okay. Okay. Well, bro, listen, I definitely appreciate you, man, for taking this time out to chop it up with us, man. We definitely covered a lot.
Of course, man.
I definitely hope you guys learned a lot, man. real quickly, man, let the people know where they can follow you at, where they can tap in with you at.
Okay, bet. Yeah, man. First, I want appreciate you having me on the show too, man. I
What's
really
up?
appreciate it. You can find me everywhere. All social medias at Vinnie Dangerous. That's Vinnie with an IE, not a Y. All one word. I'm on all streaming platforms. So whatever you streaming on, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it, I'm there. And God Made a Monster is out right now. That's my latest release. Be on the lookout for more music videos, more lyric breakdowns, whatever. We're gonna be pushing this all the way to 2022 and beyond.
Most definitely. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. I am your host, Hunter J23, live from Independent Scene Podcast. We want to thank you guys for joining us and tuning in with us, chopping it up with us. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. This is your boy, Hunter J23, from my man, Vinnie Dangerous. We out of here, y'all.
Hey, much love.
Much love, dog.